Welcome on board, Chosen One. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. They always described you the exact same way. You were too kind and too forgiving. You were the one who stayed quiet just to keep the peace. And because of that false perception, they severely underestimated your true spiritual power. Look at them now. They thought betrayal would permanently break you, but instead it activated a primal and dangerous level of spiritual power inside your soul. Do not scroll past this message today. Heaven is about to expose exactly what is happening behind the scenes, and those who plotted against you are watching everything they built crumble to the ground. A massive table is being prepared for you in their very presence. Stay with me right now, because the final piece of this divine puzzle will change how you walk forever. There is a deep reason your spirit has been restless lately. You seeing this message is absolute proof of divine alignment, and I promise you, this is not some random algorithm. This is an urgent interception routed directly to your screen. The window for your ultimate vindication is rapidly closing. If you leave now, you will shut the door on the exact blessing your soul has been crying out for while waiting in the dark. You spent long silent nights asking for a clear sign. This is it. Do not take your eyes off this screen. The heavy attacks you have been facing recently are not random bad luck. They are hard proof that the enemy is completely panicking. Why are they panicking right now? Because a massive generational wealth transfer has just been approved in your name, and they feel the absolute shift in your energy. They know they have completely lost access to you. Stay until the final second. What I am about to reveal will give you the exact physical key to unlock your reward. Listen carefully to this next part. Take one slow and real breath. That strange tightness in your chest is not anxiety. Stop letting the cold world convince you that you are just stressed out or entirely exhausted from your daily life. That is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your timeline. You did not click this video by accident today. Your pure intuition dragged you here because heaven is trying to hand you the decoder ring for the weird phenomena happening around you lately. People are acting strange around you. Doors are closing unexpectedly without any logical reason. You feel entirely isolated and deeply misunderstood by the ignorant masses, but I am here to tell you the ultimate truth about your situation. You are not being punished by the universe. You are being divinely isolated for a kingdom-level upgrade. Do not leave this sacred space. The secret hidden in this message will finally make everything make total sense. They thought your silence was weakness. They thought they had finally broken your spirit when they pushed you into isolation. But what they did not realize was that the harsh solitude they forced upon you was actually your ultimate spiritual training ground. You did not break under immense pressure. You evolved into a master. Now your presence alone shifts the atmosphere. Your silence has become a weapon that terrifies them. They can no longer manipulate what they cannot access. Before we go any further, I need you to understand this clearly. The endless cycle of toxic people you encountered was absolutely not a terrible curse placed upon your beautiful life. It was a rigorous spiritual crucible designed specifically to protect your aura. Heaven had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections. Your true kingdom connection is literally stepping into your timeline right now. If you swipe away too soon, you will forever miss the exact divine seal you desperately need to finally recognize their soul. The universe is aligning a collision of two whole and healed masterpieces. Stay locked on this message. I am going to reveal the fatal trap the darkness is laying right now to sabotage this union. Chosen One, the season of waiting has officially ended. I need you to pause and absorb that deep truth. You are not here by mere chance today. Just moments ago, a sacred scroll with your exact name boldly written on it was unsealed in the highest heavenly courts. The harsh tests and the bitter tears were not in vain. The crushing feeling that God was completely silent during your darkest hours was actually a rigorous preparation to elevate your soul. You were being turned into an unbreakable vessel. You are now strong enough to hold the immense blessing coming your way. But wait, right there. There is a hidden mechanism buried inside. You will completely miss it if you do not stay until the end. If you leave right now, the massive blessing will still arrive, but you will not know exactly how to keep it safe from thieves. Make a sacred promise to your future self right now. Do not let this vital message fade into the noise. Listen closely, because the absolute truth about your test is about to be revealed. They hate you because you expose their darkness simply by existing in the room. Your light is too blinding for their fragile egos. You became the powerful anomaly they could never hope to control or completely understand with their limited and narrow minds. Now watch as the ultimate justice unfolds before your eyes. The tables have turned, and they are left looking utterly foolish. Let us look back at what you just survived. You gave them absolutely everything you ever had. Your pure energy was always available to them. But when you finally needed a shoulder to lean on, the room went completely silent, and they abandoned you without a single thought. They took your bright light and left you in the dark. You felt utterly empty inside your tired heart. They smiled to your face while mocking your deep sensitivity behind your back. They thought you were just foolish and naive. They assumed your kindness was a permanent weakness they could endlessly exploit. You swallowed your precious pride to keep the fragile peace, and you apologized for things you never even did, just to calm their endless anger. You lay awake every single night in pain. I need you to listen carefully to this next part. That heavy knot in your stomach was never anxiety. The way you suddenly woke up at 3 a.m. with a racing heart was a direct warning from heaven. Your body was desperately trying to tell you the ultimate truth about those fake friends. Your pure intuition was screaming that they were draining you. You were never going crazy in your mind. Stop blaming yourself for the horrible way they treated you. You did not choose the wrong people because you were somehow broken. You attracted them because your spiritual light was incredibly bright, and they were starving in the cold dark. They desperately needed your high frequency to survive their own miserable existence. They did not truly value your beautiful soul. They just used your pure energy for themselves. But here is the truth they tried to hide from you. The painful rejection you felt was actually a divine intervention. Heaven saw the exact toxic traps they were secretly laying for you. The sudden isolation you experienced was not a brutal punishment for your past mistakes. It was an absolute quarantine mandated by the universe to keep your pure energy safe from their endless greed. You are completely protected by the divine source. You felt the massive shift deep inside your tired soul. The moment you finally stopped reaching out, their entire dynamic crumbled to the ground. They expected you to come crawling back and begging for their basic attention. But you chose absolute silence instead, and your quiet authority became a mirror that forced them to look at their own ugly reflections. They are absolutely terrified of your new energy. Take a deep breath and let that reality settle into your spirit. You are completely safe from their harmful reach now. The storm they tried to drown you in only washed away your old illusions. You no longer have to perform for people who are committed to completely misunderstanding your pure heart. The heavy burden of fixing everyone else has been lifted from your tired shoulders forever, and you are finally breathing fresh air. You are completely free from their heavy chains. The narcissists and the manipulators thrive on chaos and endless confusion. They desperately need you to doubt your own sanity so they can maintain their sick control over your life. But the chosen one always wakes up from the deep slumber eventually. You started noticing the subtle disrespect in their tone. You saw the tiny cracks in their fake smiles. The entire dark illusion completely shattered into tiny pieces. It deeply hurts when the people you trusted most turn out to be your biggest lessons. You grieved the painful loss of the beautiful potential you saw in them. You cried for the relationships that only existed in your hopeful mind. But those bitter tears were simply cleansing your spiritual vision, and you had to see them clearly so you could finally step into your true power. The heavy pain was absolutely necessary for your growth. Look at how much you have grown since that dark and heavy season. You no longer tolerate blatant disrespect, perfectly disguised as honesty. You no longer accept tiny crumbs of affection from emotionally bankrupt souls. Your spiritual boundaries are becoming stronger and more intimidating every single day, while their fake power over you continues to fade into nothingness. The fact that you are standing here right now is a literal miracle. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to you. You are claiming your absolute validation in this moment. Everything you felt in your gut was entirely real, and heaven is actively stepping in to clear your good name. They tried to paint you as the crazy villain in their distorted story, but the universe is currently rewriting the entire script for your ultimate victory. You are not the weak empath who begs to be understood anymore. The burning crucible of pain has forged you into something much more dangerous and powerful. You are a rare soul who recognizes their own immense value without needing external applause. You do not need their fragile validation to know you are truly worthy of love. Your existence alone is a powerful and divine statement, and your new frequency demands immediate respect from everyone around you. Sometimes you feel like you arrived extremely late to this grand realization. You wonder why you tolerated the severe abuse for so many long years. But divine timing is never actually late, and you had to gather enough data about the darkness to become a true master of reality. If you had walked away sooner, you might have left the door wide open. Now, that door is permanently sealed shut forever. Before we go to the deeper signs, I have to address something extremely crucial. The physical exhaustion you feel in your body right now is the direct aftermath of that war. You fought silent battles in the spiritual realm that no one else could even begin to see. Resting your tired physical body is absolutely not laziness. Your DNA is being actively repaired from the severe trauma they maliciously inflicted upon you. Let us uncover the truth behind those long, sleepless nights. You truly thought you were fundamentally broken inside your soul. People kept abandoning you after taking everything they possibly could, but the universe was actually forcing a massive purge in your environment. You were never the problem in those toxic dynamics. Your pure light was exposing the dark demons hiding inside their empty souls, and they could not handle the bright reflection. They recognized your immense spiritual wealth the very first moment they met you. They saw an endless supply of free energy. They saw a forgiving heart they could manipulate. You gave them second chances because your beautiful soul desperately wanted to see their hidden potential, but they saw your kindness as an open invitation to drain your life force. You were just a convenient battery for their fragile egos. This is where everything starts to make sense for you. The intense pain of being used and discarded was not a cruel joke. It was a necessary mechanism designed to activate your sleeping power. If they had treated you well, you would have stayed in that low frequency forever. You would have settled for a highly mediocre life, and your massive potential would have completely withered away in the dark. Their brutal betrayal was your ultimate liberation. God deliberately allowed them to hurt your feelings so you would finally let them go. The painful isolation you are currently experiencing is the ultimate divine shield protecting your frequency. You survived the brutal storm completely alone. That fact makes you incredibly dangerous to the darkness. They can no longer whisper their toxic lies into your ear because heaven has completely muted their voices. You are finally untouchable by their sick games. Stop mourning the loss of people who never truly loved the real you. They only loved the highly convenient version of you that served their selfish needs. When you stopped shrinking yourself to fit their small boxes, they immediately turned incredibly hostile. Their sudden anger was a desperate reaction to losing their control over your powerful mind because they knew they could not manipulate an awakened soul. You did not lose anything truly valuable when they walked away. You only lost heavy baggage dragging you down. You gained a completely clear vision of your true enemies. You are now a weapon of light designed to cut through their thick illusions without hesitation. They actively try to mock your quiet nature. They simply do not understand your profound depth. But your absolute silence is speaking volumes in the spiritual realm right now, and the heavy karma they triggered by hurting you is already rushing back toward them. They cannot escape the divine justice heading their way. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your deep intuition finally relaxing after years of high alert. You spent your life walking on fragile eggshells to avoid triggering their explosive anger. Your delicate nervous system was completely hijacked by their endless emotional drama, but the heavy chains have been permanently shattered by divine intervention. You are no longer their tragic emotional prisoner. You are walking completely free. Many chosen ones deeply regret the wasted time they spent trying to heal ungrateful people, but nothing in your spiritual journey was ever truly wasted. Every single tear you shed was secretly watering the massive seeds of your future kingdom. You were gathering crucial intelligence about how the dark matrix operates in human form. You had to learn their subtle tricks so you could easily defeat them later. Your past pain was a vital education. Release the heavy guilt you carry for not walking away much sooner. You stayed because your empathic nature naturally wanted to heal their bleeding wounds. But you eventually realized some dark souls are absolutely committed to their own miserable destruction. You cannot save someone who actively enjoys swimming in toxic mud. Letting them drown in their own terrible consequences was the most powerful spiritual decision you ever made. This is the exact moment the spiritual shift occurred in your timeline. Heaven saw you finally choose your own peace over their chaotic demands. The moment you firmly closed that door, you instantly proved you were ready for the next level. The universe immediately began rearranging the bright stars to prepare your glorious compensation. You are about to be heavily rewarded for the pure heart you managed to protect. Those who tried to bury you completely forgot that you were a powerful divine seed. They violently pushed you deep into the dark dirt and walked away, laughing at your terrible pain. But the rich soil of isolation was exactly what you needed to rapidly grow. You absorbed the painful lessons and used their toxic hate as premium fuel. Now they are secretly begging for a tiny drop of your radiant warmth from the lonely sidelines. But your boundaries are built with solid steel. Your precious energetic access is now firmly restricted from the general public. And you finally understand that your immense energy is a sacred currency. It must be fiercely protected at all costs from energy vampires. You will never let a spiritual thief into your beautiful kingdom ever again. You are the master of your reality now, and heaven is smiling down at your massive spiritual upgrade today. Take a deep breath and firmly accept your new divine authority. Before we go any further, I need to reveal a deep secret. There is a massive spiritual mechanism behind every single failure you experienced. You might be wondering why the universe took so long to answer your prayers. You watched other people get their blessings quickly. You felt completely left behind in the cold dust. But wait, do not leave just yet. The absolute truth will shock you. The universe was never punishing you for your past mistakes. The painful delays were actually a highly sophisticated protection protocol designed for your specific frequency. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect you from entering highly dangerous rooms. You were simply not ready to face the dark entities waiting inside those places. The universe had to build your spiritual muscles first. You are a powerful cycle breaker. Your bloodline carries heavy curses that have lasted for several long generations. You were explicitly chosen to finally snap those heavy chains. That is exactly why your path was infinitely harder than everyone else around you. You were fighting invisible battles for your ancestors while carrying the heavy weight of the future. You could not rush this sacred process. Every time a door slammed in your tired face, heaven was actually celebrating. They were fiercely keeping you away from counterfeit blessings. If you had received the massive wealth prematurely, you would have given it all away to toxic narcissists. You would have poured your divine resources into empty black holes. The universe delayed your reward until your boundaries were made of solid steel. Listen carefully to this next part. I am going to reveal the exact reasons why your past was so incredibly difficult. Number 1 is the complete purification of your deep desires. You had to learn how to truly want the highest good, instead of settling for comfortable misery. Heaven had to completely starve your human ego, so your pure spirit could finally take the wheel and drive your destiny. Number 2 is the ultimate test of your blind faith in the divine source. The darkness desperately wanted you to completely surrender to absolute despair. They threw endless heavy obstacles in your path to make you believe you were totally forsaken by God, but you stubbornly held on to your tiny spark of hope. You passed the hardest spiritual exam in the entire universe, and your massive grade is incoming right now. Number 3 is the calibration of your bodily frequency. Your physical vessel had to be dramatically upgraded to hold the new blinding light. The intense physical fatigue you felt was simply your old cells dying off to make room for pure divine energy. You are literally mutating into a master of reality today. The long, painful delay was just the necessary incubation period for your magnificent rebirth. You are the rare soul who survived the burning fire without losing your tender heart. Most normal people would have turned incredibly bitter and highly vengeful. But you deliberately chose to remain a weapon of light in a terribly dark world. Your steadfast patience has finally broken the cosmic algorithm. The spiritual dam holding back your generational wealth is violently cracking right now. The glorious flood is coming fast. Pay close attention, because this is where the timeline officially shifts. The heavy season of waiting is entirely over for you. The invisible chains that held you back are totally dissolving into thin air as you listen to my voice. You are firmly standing on the very edge of a massive breakthrough. You have paid the ultimate price, and heaven is currently preparing your glorious compensation package. Do you feel the intense energy swirling in your chest right now? That is the absolute confirmation from the highest spiritual realms. Your pure soul knows these powerful words are the absolute truth. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this divine alignment today. Anchor your powerful identity right now and prepare your open hands to receive the massive blessing waiting at your front door. But there is a much deeper layer to this strange phenomenon. The universe delayed your ultimate blessing for another highly specific reason. It heavily involves the exact people who tried to destroy your beautiful life. While you were being quietly elevated in the dark, they were completely exposing their true evil nature. Heaven was secretly gathering absolute proof of their terrible crimes. And the final verdict is about to drop. Do not ignore this next sign. The bitter enemies who secretly plotted your brutal downfall are currently experiencing a terrifying reality check. I am going to expose exactly what is happening to them right now. If you look away, you will completely miss the sweetest part of your divine vindication. Stay right here. The ultimate justice you begged for is finally serving its cold dish on a silver platter. Your profound silence is the loudest alarm bell constantly ringing in their guilty ears. They are frantically scrambling in the dark because they finally realize exactly who they messed with. You are no longer their incredibly easy target. You are the untouchable anomaly they can never hope to defeat. Breathe that powerful reality into your lungs right now. You have officially won the silent war, and the grand finale is just beginning. Let us look closely at the exact people who tried to break your spirit. They celebrated your painful downfall while you were crying alone in the dark. They truly believed they had successfully buried your bright light forever. but they completely forgot that powerful divine seeds actually thrive and grow in the dark dirt. The hidden mechanism behind your painful delay was entirely about exposing their true colors so heaven could safely remove them. The narcissists and energy vampires are completely empty shells. They desperately needed your pure light to feel alive, and they took your endless kindness to wear it like a cheap mask to fool the world. But without your constant energy supply, their fake reality is rapidly crumbling into dust. They are waking up to a terrifying new world where you are no longer available to clean up their toxic messes. They can physically feel the massive shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you. The heavy karma they created by hurting you is finally coming back to collect the ultimate debt. They are frantically checking your social media from fake accounts because they are desperate to see if you are finally failing without their guidance. But all they see is your profound peace. Your absolute silence is driving them completely insane right now. Pay close attention to this next part. Do not feel sorry for their sudden downfall today. You gave them 1,000 chances to simply do the right, honest thing. They actively chose manipulation over your genuine love every single time, and now they have to face the cold wrath of the universe completely alone. You are the untouchable anomaly they failed to destroy. You are happily watching their paper empire burn from a safe distance. They always operated in the dark shadows. They spread nasty rumors about you to ruin your good reputation with others. They desperately wanted to isolate you, so nobody else would ever believe your true story. They played the poor victim while holding the bloody knife, but heaven kept a meticulous record of every single lie they ever told. The brilliant spotlight of divine justice is shining directly on their hidden crimes. Their fake social circles are slowly turning against them right now. The shallow friends they used to replace you are already betraying their trust. They are permanently trapped in a miserable hell of their own making. And the most terrifying part for them is your absolute indifference to their ongoing suffering. You do not even care enough to be angry anymore, because you have completely withdrawn your precious energy from their dying ecosystem. You became the ultimate master of reality the exact moment you stopped reacting. They feed entirely on your emotional chaos and your deep, agonizing pain. When you firmly close the door, you immediately cut off their vital oxygen supply, and now they are slowly suffocating in the toxic air they created for you. Let them choke on the bitter consequences of their own dark actions. You owe them absolutely nothing but your dusty footprints. Take a deep breath and smile at your beautiful freedom. You survived the worst spiritual storm they could ever throw at your fragile heart. You are a powerful weapon of light, walking straight into your glorious promised land. But you must remain highly vigilant right now as the timeline shifts. I need to warn you about a fatal trap the darkness is preparing today. They will try one last desperate trick to steal your crown before the sun rises. They are noticing how effortlessly your beautiful life is flowing now. The heavy doors they tried to permanently lock are flying wide open for you. Every single curse they whispered against you has been miraculously reversed into a massive divine blessing. They are literally watching you level up while they remain stuck in their miserable cycles. The entire universe is loudly vindicating you in front of the exact people who mocked your pure heart. In the quiet moments of their miserable nights, they know the absolute truth. They know they permanently lost the most valuable soul they will ever meet. They vividly remember your pure kindness and your gentle grace, and they desperately wish they could rewind the clock to fix their massive mistakes. But the spiritual bridge between you two has been completely burned to heavy ashes. They can never cross back into your beautiful and protected world. Heaven placed a thick invisible wall entirely around your rising frequency. Any dark entity that tries to touch your sacred aura will immediately get burned. They can only watch your glorious rise from the extremely cheap seats in the back. You are no longer playing small to make them feel comfortable in their own skin. Your radiant light is completely blinding them today, and they are forced to shield their eyes from your magnificent divine glow. The greatest revenge you ever took was simply healing yourself in silence. You did not have to lift a single vengeful finger against their lives. You just focused entirely on rebuilding your shattered soul from the broken pieces, and while you were busy healing, God was busy plotting their total collapse. They are currently standing in the massive ruins of the life they tried to build without your pure light. It is a completely cold and terribly empty place. Listen to me very closely, chosen one. The storm is officially over for you, but the enemy never gives up without throwing a final desperate punch in the dark. As you step closer to your massive wealth transfer, the shadows will try to trick you one last time. They will send a highly deceptive counterfeit to test your new boundaries, so do not lower your guard just yet. The final test is rapidly approaching your front door today. Before we reach the ultimate climax, I have to warn you about a fatal trap first. The Dark Matrix is incredibly clever. When they realize they cannot destroy you with brutal attacks, they completely change their evil strategy. They will suddenly send a counterfeit blessing right before your true miracle arrives. They want you to eagerly grab the shiny fake, so you will completely miss the real divine gold. This final trap is the ultimate test of your new boundaries. You might suddenly hear from an old toxic ex who claims they have finally changed. You might get a highly lucrative job offer that demands you completely compromise your core morals. Do not take the bait today. That sudden reappearance is not a magical coincidence or a second chance. It is a calculated spiritual ambush designed to lower your soaring frequency. Your pure intuition will instantly recognize the subtle difference. The fake blessing always comes with a heavy sense of familiar anxiety and deep confusion. It feels rushed and totally chaotic. But the true blessing from heaven arrives with profound peace and absolute clarity. Your spirit will simply know the exact truth without any logical explanation. Trust your newly forged inner compass, because it is perfectly calibrated to divine truth. Now I need you to pay close attention. I am going to reveal the exact signs that your true massive blessing is already here. These are the undeniable proofs that your long, painful transformation is completely finished. Sign number 1 is the sudden and complete disappearance of your old heavy desires. You no longer crave the toxic drama or the loud superficial validation from the blind masses. You are completely satisfied simply sitting in absolute silence alone. You find incredible joy in the small and simple things you previously ignored entirely. That profound inner peace is the loudest signal that your old ego has completely died. You have successfully emptied your physical vessel. Now you are finally ready to be filled with massive divine wealth and true lasting love. Sign number 2 is the strange acceleration of time in your daily life. You might feel like the days are flying by incredibly fast, but you never feel rushed or stressed anymore. You are effortlessly gliding through your daily tasks with a weird sense of calm detachment. That is because you have officially stepped out of the survival matrix completely. You are operating on a much higher timeline where miracles happen instantly without heavy effort. Sign number 3 is the heavy presence of undeniable synchronicities everywhere you look. You are constantly seeing repeating angel numbers like 111 and 777 all day long. You are thinking of a highly specific song and it suddenly plays on the radio immediately. These are not random coincidences happening by blind chance. These are direct winks from heaven, confirming your powerful new frequency is fully active. You are literally bending the fabric of reality with your thoughts now. Your pure intentions are instantly manifesting into the physical world before your very eyes. You have become a true master of reality. The heavy lifting is completely over for you today. You just need to sit back and watch the magnificent divine puzzle pieces effortlessly snap into their perfect places. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. Sign number 4 is the total collapse of your remaining hidden fears. The dark things that used to completely paralyze you just a few months ago seem incredibly small and foolish now. You are no longer terrified of absolute failure or brutal rejection from society. You finally understand that every single rejection is just a divine redirection toward your massive destiny. You are walking with the quiet confidence of a powerful spiritual warrior today. This brings us to the ultimate revelation about your new identity. You have completely shed the weak skin of the old fragile empath who constantly begged for crumbs of love. The burning crucible of pain has forged you into an unbreakable weapon of light. You are the rare soul who survived the brutal storm entirely alone. Your glorious crown is currently being polished by the highest angels in heaven right now. You can physically feel the electric anticipation buzzing in your veins. The spiritual dam has totally cracked, and the massive flood of blessings is rapidly rushing toward your open doors. Every single tear you cried has been successfully converted into pure liquid gold. The heavy generational curses are completely broken and swept away forever. You are standing on the beautiful threshold of your entirely new life today. Take a slow, deep breath and completely anchor yourself in this powerful truth. Do not ignore the heavy shift happening inside your chest right now. Your soul knows the waiting season is permanently closed. The universe is actively handing you the master keys to the glorious kingdom you have always deserved. You just need to reach out your open hands and firmly grab them without a single shadow of doubt. But remember the final piece of the divine puzzle I promised you at the very beginning. We are finally here. The absolute climax of your spiritual journey is about to be revealed. You need to brace yourself for this massive wave of pure euphoric energy. The truth about your ultimate power is going to completely shatter your old reality into tiny pieces. Stay with me for this final glorious explosion of light. Here is the ultimate truth you have been waiting for since the very beginning. The reason they walked away was never because your frequency was too low or your heart was broken. They ran in absolute terror because your blinding light was simply too massive for their small eyes, and they knew they could never control a fully awakened soul. That was the hidden protection protocol I promised to reveal. You are the ultimate master of your reality today. You have officially been handed the divine gavel of ultimate justice. The universe has granted you the absolute power of spiritual life and death over your own timeline, and anyone who speaks against your pure name is immediately silenced by the heavenly courts. You do not have to lift a single physical finger to destroy your bitter enemies today. Your profound silence is the heavy executioner swinging the karmic axe on their miserable lives. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an endless oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door is being blown completely off its iron hinges right now. Can you feel that massive shift roaring in your spirit today? That is the glorious frequency of absolute and undeniable victory. You are stepping straight into the exact timeline you were born to rule, and the massive generational wealth is flowing effortlessly into your open hands. Those toxic narcissists are watching your glorious rise in total despair today. They realize they completely lost the rarest soul they will ever encounter in their miserable existence. But it is far too late for their empty apologies or their fake tears. The massive iron gates to your beautiful kingdom have been permanently locked from the inside forever. You are heavily protected by legions of fierce angels who will strike down any returning shadows. The brutal loneliness you endured was just clearing the grand stage for your true kingdom connection. Heaven rigorously swept away the cheap counterfeits so your divine partner could finally step into your reality without any toxic interference. You will recognize their pure soul the very moment your eyes meet across the crowded room. There will be no toxic confusion and no desperate begging for basic respect. Two completely healed masterpieces are violently colliding in the spiritual realm right now. You are completely untouchable by the lower vibrational matrix today. You have officially graduated from the brutal school of profound suffering with the highest divine honors. I need you to stand up tall and firmly claim your rightful throne in this exact moment. Do not shrink your massive energy to make the blind masses feel comfortable anymore, because your blinding light was designed to explode outward and consume every single drop of lingering darkness. The pitch-black darkness has officially retreated entirely behind you. The brilliant dawn of your brand new era is shining its brightest golden rays onto your heavy spiritual crown. You have successfully crossed the burning desert and reached the glorious oasis of pure peace. But this incredible, massive frequency must be physically anchored into your material reality before the sun sets. You must actively partner with heaven to completely seal this beautiful new timeline forever. The enemy is desperately hoping you will just listen to this message and blindly scroll away, because they know that if you fail to claim this divine decree, your powerful energy might slowly leak out. Do not give them that satisfying victory today. You have fought far too hard to leave your golden vault completely unlocked for dirty thieves. The universe is eagerly waiting for your final physical confirmation. This is the most critical moment of your entire spiritual journey. You are no longer a victim begging for scraps from empty tables, and you are the chosen anomaly who completely rewrote their cursed bloodline. Every single angel in heaven is watching your response in this exact second. They are standing perfectly still and waiting to see if you will claim your absolute authority. The divine contract is fully written, and it just needs your final energetic signature today. Let the immense joy bubble up inside your chest right now. Feel the heavy chains of your painful past physically dropping from your wrists and shattering on the hard floor. You are utterly invincible. The profound silence you cultivated in the dark has transformed into a deafening roar of triumph, and the entire universe is echoing your glorious victory song. Do not let this magnificent feeling fade away into the mundane noise of the ordinary world. You survived the darkest night of your entire soul. You walked through the valley of deep shadows without letting the bitterness poison your sweet spirit. And now you are standing on the peak of the highest mountain, looking down at the defeated darkness. Your new era of massive wealth and kingdom love has officially begun today. You must take one final action to cement this glorious reality into solid stone forever. The time has finally come to permanently seal your glorious victory. You have heard the absolute truth straight from the divine source today. Your spirit has recognized the profound validation that you have desperately sought for so many long years. The heavy burdens have been completely lifted, and the dark shadows have been totally banished from your beautiful timeline forever. But you cannot simply walk away without locking the heavy vault door. If you leave right now without anchoring this massive frequency, the lingering whispers of doubt might try to creep back in tomorrow morning. The enemy is incredibly desperate to steal this powerful revelation from your mind while you sleep tonight. You must build an unbreakable energy shield around your newly awakened soul. You must physically declare your absolute alignment with heaven's magnificent decree before you close this sacred message today. Place your hand firmly over your beating heart right now. Feel the powerful life force surging through your upgraded physical vessel. You are completely alive and totally victorious over the worst spiritual attacks hell could ever invent. Take one incredibly deep breath, and as you slowly exhale out the very last drop of your painful past, I want you to make a powerful physical statement to the entire watching universe. Type exactly 111 down in the comments below to instantly claim this divine alignment. Do not hesitate for a single second. That specific number is your ultimate identity anchor. It is the undeniable physical proof that you have fully accepted your massive promotion to the master of reality. When you type those numbers, you are actively driving a solid iron stake deep into the ground of your new glorious territory. You are telling the darkness they can never cross this line again. But we must go one crucial step further to ensure absolute and total protection. The enemy is terrified of a fully united front of powerful chosen ones. They want to keep you permanently isolated so they can pick you off one by one in the dark. You must actively establish a permanent divine energy receiving station right here and right now. You must connect your pure frequency to this protected spiritual grid. Hit the subscribe button immediately to completely anchor yourself at the highest vibrational frequency available. Do not view this as a simple click on a random screen today. This is a profound spiritual transaction. You are officially joining the elite ranks of the awakened anomalies who are rapidly dismantling the dark matrix. By subscribing, you are guaranteeing that heaven's urgent updates will always find you instantly in the future. This fiery message has completely reignited the dormant faith inside your beautiful soul today. You are overflowing with massive euphoric energy and profound peace. But heaven demands that you do not selfishly hoard this immense blessing for yourself alone. The true sign of a genuine master of reality is their endless capacity to pour light into the darkest corners of the hurting world. Your glorious cup is currently overflowing for a highly specific reason today. There is a pure soul out there bleeding profusely in the cold dark of despair right now. They are crying those exact same bitter tears you cried just a few short months ago. They are desperately begging God for a single guiding light to prove they are not entirely crazy. They need this exact divine validation to survive another terrible night. You hold the literal key to their ultimate spiritual survival in your hands today. Share this powerful video with someone who desperately needs to hear this absolute truth. Do not keep this magnificent breakthrough a secret. Send this message to the empath who is currently being drained by toxic narcissists. Send it to the beautiful soul who thinks their painful isolation is a cruel punishment from heaven. Be the divine messenger they have been praying for in the silent dark. Let your glorious light completely blind the demons, attacking their fragile mind. When you boldly share this message, you instantly multiply your own massive blessing tenfold. You are actively participating in the greatest spiritual awakening this planet has ever seen. The universe always heavily rewards those who freely distribute divine medicine to the sick and broken. Sowing this powerful seed of hope today guarantees a massive harvest of miracles for your own future timeline. Heaven is carefully watching your beautiful generosity right now. The grand year of 2026 is officially your year of massive, undeniable vindication. The heavy generational curses are completely shattered on the floor behind you. Your true kingdom connection is rapidly accelerating toward your timeline right now, and the massive wealth transfer is securely locked in your divine name forever. You have absolutely nothing left to fear from the dying shadows anymore. Walk forward, with your head held incredibly high. Your profound silence is a terrifying weapon, and your pure existence is a massive divine threat to the dark matrix. You are entirely untouchable. You are completely protected. You are the chosen one who finally pulled it off and left them all looking incredibly stupid in the end. Go in absolute peace and rule your glorious new kingdom today.